Boom, what's up, y'all? This is Toe, and we back again with another video. Today we got a 6'8 pure lockdown that has high perimeter defense, high steal, high block, high rebounding, and also pretty good shooting. So let's go ahead and get to the building. The word of the day is in Ephesians chapter 2, verse 8 in the King James Bible says, "For by grace are ye saved through faith, and not that of yourself, it is a gift of God." So always remember, before you try to be a lockdown on the court, you gotta make sure that your salvation is locked down. If when you have your salvation under control, everything seems to be better. So please remember that. Remember, follow God, get close to Jesus Christ, and remember that He loves every single one of us. So the idea with this build is we're a 3D build. We came to lock people up, and we came to shoot the trade ball, and that's it. That's all we doing. We're not cutting. We're not playing with the ball. We got a job to do. We came to lock stuff up. Okay. So let's start with the physicals. Position is small forward. Height is 6'8". Weight is 192, and wingspan is 7'2", which is max wingspan. The reason I went with 6'8" versus 6'7" is I believe 6'7" is a little too small. I believe that when you try to get contested in the paint, I definitely with the weird type of like height capping thing with the contest, you can't get contest with the 6'7" versus a 6'8". So that's one of the main reasons why I went 6'8". Also, I definitely like the high block on this build. I believe if you go if you go 6'7", you only get an 88 block, and with 6'8", you get a 94 block. And also, I don't think that you get enough the rebounding that I like for rebounding too. So there's multiple different reasons why I went to 6'8". All right, so make sure y'all watch to the end of the video so y'all get a feel for what the mindset is for this build. So we're gonna start off with the physicals. The physicals, the speed is an 86, agility is an 85, the strength is a 60, and the vertical is an 80. Now, one of the things that can be kind of debatable when it comes to lockdowns is the low strength. Now, I definitely like having higher strength. I think that is definitely a lot easier to lock up, and definitely when it comes to the paint. But with this build, I don't think it's really needed, right? Because I made this build, I definitely can get a good amount of stops. So, if you want to put the strength on there, you can, but you'll lose a little bit of strength and you up your weight. So whatever you want to do, you go ahead and do that thing. So the rebounding, I got an 80 offensive rebound and an 85 defensive rebound. The rebounding on this build is definitely nice. You get box out beats on gold and rebound chaser on silver. One of the biggest things that the biggest perks with having this high rebounding is you can get a lot more possessions with the rebound. You can go and sneak in, get a couple more possessions. You can definitely help out your big, and you'd be surprised how many more rebounds you get just because of the speed, because the position is the most important thing when it comes to this game. Not so much the rebounding. Now, again, if you're going against, a 7-footer with legend rebound chaser, of course you're not gonna get the board. But you can also help out your big so he can get the board as well. So that's the whole reason with the high rebounding. If you think it's too high, you can lower it. It's again, this is a template. It's not a set and so type of build. So next we got the defense. Interior defense is an 80. Perimeter defense is a 91. Steal is an 87, and the block is a 91. Now with the interior defense, we get on-ball pest on gold. The perimeter defense, we get challenger on silver, on-ball menace on gold, pick dodger on gold. The steal, we get a silver glove, and we also get gold interceptor. With the block, we got high 59 on gold and paper controller on silver. Now, you may think this is kind of low, but we got cap breakers. We all gotta remember the cap breakers. So, we can also we can raise up the challenger to gold. We can raise the on-ball menace to legend. We always got the max +1, max +2 thing. So again, we can potentially, with the cap breakers, I'm trying to get a little ahead of myself, but with the cap breakers, you can get challenger on ball menace or pick dodger on legend, if with the max +1, max +2. So again, however you want to configure the build is up to you. If you want to put your glove up, you can put your glove up on Hall of Fame if you want to with the Max Plus One. If you want to put the Interceptor on, you can put that on Hall of Fame as well. Well, you can put that on Legend actually. And the Paint Patroller, we can you can raise that up as well with the Cat Breaker. So again, we'll get to that. So with the playmaking, again, we are locking up. We locking up, getting the ball, and we're passing it to our PG. That's it. We're not playing with the ball. We're not doing any of this stuff. So if you came here trying to get like a play lock and all this stuff, this is the wrong build. So the only playmaking badge we get is Diamond on Bronze. Now with the Cat Breakers, again, we'll talk about it later. This can definitely go up, and you can potentially become that play lock that you want, if that's what you want. So with the shooting, we got an 85 3 and a 80. No, sorry, we had 85 mid range and an 83. So with these attributes, you get dead out on silver, set shot specialist on silver, and shift the shooter on bronze. Now you may be thinking this is a little too low. We got Max Plus One, Max Plus Two badges, so we can increase, the dead eye up to potentially up to Hall of Fame, set shot specialist up to Hall of Fame. We can do the shift the shooter up to gold. So again, if however you want to configure it, you can do that. But with how easy it is shooting in this game, I don't believe you need a crazy three. Now again, if you want to go higher, you lower the wingspan, but that's not a max wingspan is what we want with this build. And also with the free throw, we got 81 free throw. If you don't want free throw, if you play more park and 3v3, you can lower the free throw. But just to be safe, I think an 80 free throw is more than enough to get the job done. So with the finishing, again, we are 3-and-D. We're not doing too much cutting, too much finishing. So we got close shots at 73, driving layup is a 49, driving dunk is a 60, standing dunk is a 45. Now I do think the 45 is that's the minimum you can get to get any type of standing dunk animation. But I've noticed that even with the 45, a lot of times he's still gonna go up with the layup. So I always try to tell my PG, if you see me cutting, do not pass me the ball, because I'm very just trying to get position for the rebound. We're not trying to do anything in the paint. We're not dunking nobody. That's not what we're trying to do. With the takeovers, you can get sharpshooter because of the 83 and the 75 mid range. You get rim guardian on here because of the 80 interior defense and the 91 block. You also can get glue. Now, glue is a great takeover. That takeover is crazy. When you have the takeover and you ball handler shot, dude, you go on the ball handler, you making the ball pick him up almost every time. So at least from my experience. So the glue is, if you don't use the hydro takeover, definitely use glue or the rim protector. Whichever one you want to do. So let's go ahead and look at the build name. So the shades of Gerald Wallace, Julius Erving, which I don't know how because he can't dunk, but I don't make the game, I just play it. And OG Ananobi, I guess. I'm sorry if I butchered your name. I'm sorry. But the archetype name is Edge Enforcing Midi Scorer. So we already know about the strengths and weaknesses. We can't dribble the ball, we can't finish, but again, all we doing is playing defense, running on transition, and shooting the ball. That's all we doing. Now, me personally, I'm able to use what I got to do a little bit of shot creating, but it's kind of hard to do when you don't have any ball handling. But like I said, sometimes you gotta do a little step back three, a little side shift. You can do what you need to do. But with cap breakers that we were talking about mentioning, you can actually beat the shot creating lockdown if you want to. So let's go ahead and get to the cap breaker. All right, now so we're at the cap breaker screen. I only have 3 cap breakers, but I have a full-time job. I have a family. I'm not grinding this green 24/7. I kind of represent the normal grind. I get on here, play the game with the fellas, and I get off. So How I got the 3 cap breakers is one with the level 40 reward, one with the rep reward, and we only got one right now with the crew grind. So I think you can potentially get 4 with the rec. I mean the crew grind and all the other stuff. So again, right now we're working with 3. So with the 3 cap breakers that I got, I put my first 3 cap breakers on, the first 2 cap breakers on the block to get my block up, I mean my paint patroller on gold on 6-8 build, and then I put the last cap breaker on my perimeter defense so I can get on ball minutes on gold. So a couple of things to talk about the build. If you can put 2 cap breakers on the interior defense, you get I think it was uh, post lockdown. I think it's what the badge called. You get that up to I think silver or gold. I can't remember which one. You can do that. We already mentioned about the 87 steel. We got the cap breakers. You can get that up to an 81 if you want to in the future. Again, we always do the speed. You do the speed, go take that up to 87. Agility, you get that up to an 88. The strength, vertical. I think with the 3, if you make your vertical to 83, you can get High Find an Hour on Hall of Fame. With the 90, I think it's a 92 block to get that requirement. So again, with the cap breakers, you can actually be more of a defensive juggernaut. So with the playmaking, you can get your passing accuracy up from a 60 to a 77, which I think is very valuable with the lockdown. I mean, it's not, you're not going to be throwing those steamers out there or anything, but I mean, that's pretty decent. Now with cap breakers, you can upgrade the ball handling from a 55 to an 84, which is pretty good. I mean, you can do what you need to do with an 84 ball handling. Now I don't remember what badges you can get with that, but I mean, you can get a little jiggy with it. And with the speed with ball, you can take it up from a 60 to an 80. So you got 84 ball handling and also get an 80 speed with ball. You can make things work. You can work with it. So let's move on to the finishing. With the driving layup, you can take it up from a 49 to an 80. Because again, I think that's plenty enough to make consistent layups, in this game. When it comes to the standing dunk, I think it comes up to like a 50 something. Which I mean, it's all right, but I do think if you use the driving dunk, I mean you can get the job done. I mean, like I said, again with the idea with this build, we're not trying to finish. We're trying to shoot the ball. We're trying to play defense. Keep that in mind. Shoot the ball, defense. 3-and-D. That's all we're trying to do. We're not trying to do anything else fancy. So if you like the video, make sure you like the video, subscribe if you're new, and if you're interested in my 610 KD type of build, click on the screen now.